For 7 years, the people of Israel lived in fear. Their land was taken, their crops destroyed. They hid in caves and shadows, praying for deliverance. But in the silence, their cries reached heaven, and a prophet was sent to remind them of the Lord's promise. He spoke of their disobedience and of God's mercy that never ends. Then, under a great oak tree, an angel of the Lord appeared to a man named Gideon. Gideon was threshing wheat in secret, hiding from those who had taken their land. The angel said, "The Lord is with you, mighty warrior." But Gideon could not yet see himself that way. But when Gideon brought his offering, fire rose from the rock, and he knew he had seen the Lord. That night, he built an altar to the Lord, and from that moment, his life would never be the same. One man, one calling. This is the story of Gideon. In those days, 3 nations came together: Midian, Amalek, and the tribes of the east. They united with one purpose: to conquer Israel. They crossed the Jordan and camped in the valley of Jezreel. The land was filled with their numbers, yet heaven stayed silent. The Spirit of the Lord came upon Gideon, and he called his army together. His call echoed through the hills of Abiezer. Men gathered, moved by faith, not by fear. Messengers rode through the land of Israel. In every village, the message was the same: "Come, the Lord is with us." Gideon looked toward the land and said, "Lord, give me a sign." He placed a fleece upon the ground and prayed, "Let the dew fall only upon the fleece, and let the earth remain dry." At dawn, the fleece was soaked with dew. He wrung it out. A bowl full of water flowed from his hands. Then Gideon spoke once more, trembling before God. This time let the fleece be dry, and the ground be wet. And so it was. Early in the morning, Gideon rose with his men and camped beside the spring of Harod. North of them, in the valley below the hill of Moreh, the camp of Midian lay, vast as the morning fog. And the Lord said to Gideon, "You have too many men. I will not let Israel boast that their own strength has saved them." So Gideon spoke to the men, and fear found its way among them. 22,000 turned back, and 10,000 remained. But the Lord spoke again to Gideon, "There are still too many. Bring them down to the water, and there I will test them for you." So at dawn, Gideon led them down to the water below. And the Lord said, "Watch how they drink, for by this I will show you who shall go and who shall not." 300 stood ready, chosen by the hand of God. That night the Lord spoke, "Rise and attack the camp, but if you're too afraid, take your servant with you." So Gideon went down with Purah, and together they drew near to the edge of the camp. Below them lay the Midianites, as countless as the sand by the sea. As Gideon drew near, he heard a man tell his friend in the hush of night, "I have dreamed a dream. A barley loaf came rolling through the camp, and it fell, overturned to the ground. This can be nothing else but the sword of Gideon, whom God has chosen to deliver Israel." And when Gideon heard the dream and its meaning, he bowed in worship, for the Lord had already given the victory. He ran back to the camp and cried, "Arise, for the Lord has delivered Midian into our hands." Gideon divided the 300, each with a horn and a torch hidden within a clay jar. "Watch me and do as I do. When we sound the ram's horn, you sound yours. First surround the camp, then shout, 'For the Lord and for Gideon.'" At midnight, Gideon and his men drew near the camp, silent as the wind before the storm. In the stillness of the night, the watchmen changed their post, and no man knew what was coming. Then the horn sounded, and the jars shattered. Light burst forth in the darkness. With fire in one hand and the trumpet in the other, they cried out together, "For the Lord and for Gideon." And in the camp below, the night turned to chaos. Men fled. Still they stood, blowing their horns again and again, a sound that shook the entire land. The Lord sent confusion among the enemy, and they turned one against another. And as dawn broke, the enemy fled, and the Lord gave Israel the victory. The tribes gathered once more, brothers scarred by battle yet bound by faith. Swift messengers rode through the hills carrying Gideon's call to cut off the enemy's escape. And from the highlands of Ephraim they came, strong men ready to stand for the Lord. The Lord delivered the princes of Midian into their hands, justice for all Israel. And the land remembered their names, the rock of Oreb, the winepress of Zeb. By the hand of one man, God delivered a nation, and the night became light.